broke.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. And thank you for subscribing to the latest edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. I'm 12 Kyle. And check this out. On this episode, we're going to talk about dating. Are we dating? Are we not dating? And I have a special guest in the building on this episode. If you've been following me, you know that we go way back. If you've been following me back when I had the episode, not the episode, but the entity of the 12 Kyle it wasn't even the 12 Kyle podcast. It was 12 Radio, the 12 Radio show on Blog Talk Radio. That was back like in 2010 when I started that. It's hard to believe it's been that long, but nonetheless, one of my best friends who was always on there almost every other week is joining me on the 12 Kyle podcast. I think this is like our second or third time. We got to get on here more often. But anyway, welcoming back to the fold, my homegirl, ShellyShell. Shell, what up?
What up, what up, what up?
What's going on? What's going on?
Not much, not much. Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah. We gotta kick it. So let's do it. So dating. Where do we start? I guess we probably should start from the beginning because, like, for me, my boys always tease me because I have, they tell me that I haven't dated since Tupac was alive, since Clinton was in office, since the Cowboys were good. So it's been that long. You, on the other hand, are, I don't want to say you're a serial dater, but you're dating. You're on the scene 2022, excuse me. So I guess we should start there. Is it difficult to be dating in 2022, or is it easy? Or tell me some of the pros or cons.
It is hard out here in these streets. It is
hard for a pimp.
It is hard for a pimp. At one time I was a pimp. No.
Oh Lord.
It is hard out here for real. These dudes are just, I don't know. And also I think it comes down to is it's like your patience level is down. You're in your 40s now.
Mm-hmm.
So before, when you were in like 20s and 30s, you'd entertain some bullshit.
So you said you would entertain bullshit. So now in your 40s, you ain't.
You're like patience level is like so stupid and like that, and you're like, no, I'm not doing that. Mm-hmm. I'm not doing that. I'd rather be by myself. I'm not doing that.
Okay.
It is, yeah. I don't know. It's hard. And I do also think that these dudes feel like, they can act any old way. And I think that there are a lot of women, and I've talked to some that really were like, I just want a man. I'm like, I'm just not that desperate. Mm-hmm. Nah. I think everybody wants partnership and stuff like that, but I'm not. I just can't forsake who I am as a person to have a dude next to me. Not gonna happen. Gotcha.
So now you said dudes. Hey, what about the women? What about y'all?
Listen, I feel like we're on some bullshit too.
Okay.
I can't give it all.
As long as you acknowledge it.
Yeah, listen, I hear stories from some of my homeboys who are single. And I'm gonna be like, that's some bullshit. But I don't think we're on as much bullshit, but talking to some people, he said women are even more.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
It might be a 55-45 split of bullshit.
Women or men? 55, 45?
Men and women. That's all I mean.
Okay, so
like my group, my circle group, my friendship group, I feel like that are single, I feel like I don't think they're nutcases. I have a couple here and there, but
right.
I don't think they're crazy. I don't think that they do wild shit or they expect wild shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, a little bit of effort, intent, and I think that's part of the problem. They maybe no one's communicating what they want in the beginning.
Okay.
But sometimes I don't know if you know what you want in the beginning.
Well, that's true.
Like you just don't. Sometimes you do, but I think now going on thing was like you're dating with now. I think as you get older, you're dating with intent. Your intent is to have a partner and to possibly get married if that's what you want. But
Mhm.
at least have a partnership and it's just you and that person, and not you, that person, and Jill, and Tanisha, and Kelly, and Kendra.
Right. Okay, so that leads me to my next question. So what is that process like? Is it when you're getting to know someone and you're meeting someone? Is it something that is discussed? And I'm not saying that you need to discuss like, hey, I'm trying to get married on the 15th, like that. But is it something where you're saying, hey, I'm looking for? Is that even brought up like on the first couple of dates? Like what I'm looking for? I'm looking for companionship. I'm looking for a good time, as my boys say. Uh, how is that broached?
I think it's different with different people. I've gone on dates with dudes that have been like, boom, right at dinner. What's your intent? I want to get married. And I'm like, whoa, this is a lot. And you're also not used to a man being like that either.
Mhm.
And
This
you're
is
like,
true.
oh, wait, like what's going on here? and,
Mhm.
but then you're like, but then I think sometimes you just slip into it too. Like you just start like talking to that person, you spend more and more time, you're talking to them on the phone, you like that's your person. You're like, oh, I want to go do this, want to do that, and vice versa. And next thing you know, you're like, oh, with this dude a lot. And and it just kind of you fall into it, and then you're like, damn, are you dating anybody else? No, are you? No. Oh, we dating each other? Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, so see, that's where I'm like kind of dumbfounded because I'm old school, and then I've been married, for the last what,
97 years.
right. So it's like I think like, okay, like if I were single, I would say like I would want to tell somebody up front, like, hey, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a good time. Or I'm looking to, settle down. I've been single for, 10 years and I'm trying to settle down. So I guess what I'm asking is why aren't those conversations like up front as opposed to, because what I see in on social, for what it's worth, what I see on social media and what I hear a lot is that, some people tend to move like really fast with each other and not really get that component as to what we're doing up front. And I think you probably could, I'm not saying you, but people could save themselves a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of money if they say up front, hey, this is what I want. Because my thing
Absolutely.
is, if I tell you, I'm just looking to have a good time, then whatever happens, happens. And you can't say, well, Kyle, you misled me because I told you I wanted kids and I wanted to get married. I'm like, look, I'm having a good time. So this 3 months we did was just us having a good time. Us kicking it. So
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that because it does. It leads you into when you don't communicate and have clear conversations or going into it and like, well, yeah, maybe even like a month or two when you realize you're spending more time with that person. Like, well, what do you want?
mhm,
You want this just to be like what we're doing, or do you want it to move forward? Then it does. You're in this. It does create at some point chaos.
mhm,
It does because then you have your feelings are involved and you're almost like you're acting like your boyfriend and girlfriend, but you're not. You're really not. You're not
right.
boyfriend or girlfriend. You're not in an exclusive relationship, and it's more like this weird situationship you find yourself in.
Mhm,
And then you're like, huh. And you're sitting there thinking like, because you're behaving almost like it. You talk to that person
right.
every day.
Your
You
morning text.
you get morning text, then you're at night, and then you're talking to them. Personal things about them and
Mhm.
this and that. And then you're like, well, damn. Then be like, well, I'm not, we ain't together like that. You're like, damn, we're not. And you
But
have
see,
to
my
like,
thing is, why not ask that up front? Why not say, okay, well, hey, look, we've hung out these last couple of weeks. We've gone out to dinner. We've got hit the movies, whatever like that. I dig you. I'm trying to be with you. Why not say that on either side, male or female?
I think sometimes it comes down to you, you don't want to know the answer.
That could be true too.
You're like, you might get a, well, I take you, but I'm not ready to be exclusive yet. And then your feelings are hurt, right? Because you're like,
Right.
damn, this dude is really fucking with other chicks. I'm not the only chick. And I might be the main chick, but I'm not the only chick.
Right.
And then I feel like it just go with the flow sometimes. You don't want to hurt. But then you go with the flow too long and you're in it. Your feelings are hurt.
Well, see, at that point, you got to say, like, look, okay, when he says, yeah, I'm feeling you, but I'm not really, I want to see I'm seeing other people, whatever, like that. Now you have to make a decision at that point, like, do I want to keep going, or do I want to just, let's just be cool and just kick it on some cool out shit. If and when we kick it, we may not even kick it no more.
Right.
Conversation. So, that maybe put the nail in the coffin, if you will, for the whatever we're starting, at that point.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
So yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you just go and you're just having fun. Like you get into these things that sometimes it's just like a good chemistry. Like you're having fun, you get to see that person and you're going on dates and this and that and just hanging out and going to different things. You're going to different events, and then you're like, damn, I like that person. And it just kind of, and you're like, shit, how'd that happen? Because at first you go into it not knowing if you're going to like the person. Like you go into it, you don't know. Like you don't know. I don't know.
So then, when do you know when you like somebody? I guess I'm speaking for you, not I'm talking to you, not everybody else. When do you know you like a guy? Yeah, you personally.
Me, ShellyShell. Okay.
I mean, other than the physical, because obviously the physical is something
right.
You know, if you like what you see.
You like what you see. I think after a while, if you've been like you hung out with them, communicated with them on the phone.
What, like a week, 2 weeks?
Well, I don't think no, it's longer than that. Okay. I'm so like ridiculous sometimes. I'm like, I don't know if I like him.
At least you know you're ridiculous.
Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna own my shit. Because sometimes I like after a week or two, like a month, maybe 6 weeks, you're like, huh, all right. Yeah, I do like him. Okay. I see this. I do like him. And then you're just like, do I like him enough now to have this conversation, or to just be like, that's the dude I want to date and only that dude.
Right.
Sometimes like I like him, but I'll put him on my team.
Put him on the team. So we got to determine whether or not he's starting or coming off the bench.
If you start coming off the bench, or you a team player. But I think that last 2 years, this dating shit has just gotten ridiculous because we were locked the fuck up.
Right. Now, how has that been, not just for you, but you and your friends or people that you know? How has that been dating during the pandemic? Because it's I could imagine it's been interesting to say the least.
Yes. So I'm trying to think of when pandemic was, 2 years ago now, right?
Yeah.
We were in hard lockdown. We were probably a week and a half in, right? The weekend of lockdown, like 2 years ago. Excuse me. I think, what was it for me? At the end of 2019, beginning of 2020, I deaded everybody I was talking to. And I was like, yeah, I don't like these dudes like that. I just don't like. And so when I came into the year 2020,
right,
I wasn't talking to nobody. I had deaded all that. And it's like, I was like talking to one dude. I'm like, I don't like him like that. A whole ass. I knew I didn't like him. I knew I didn't like him like that. Probably 2 weeks in, 3 weeks.
Yeah, but see, then you keep talking to him.
I didn't
give him a false. Oh yeah, you gotta dead it.
I didn't dead it. But I didn't talk to him all the time. I deaded how much time I spent with him for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely deaded the time I spent with him, or like I allowed myself to be around him. I'm like, he does dumb shit for me, and he just was kind of. I know this is a terrible thing to say. He's kind of a bitch, right? And I didn't like the way he moved he had 2 kids, and I didn't like the way he moved with his kids.
You don't have any kids.
Kyle, you don't have no goddamn kids.
I mean, but I know that, but the people that's listening don't know that. people that's listening don't know that. We got millions of people listening. This is their first time hearing you, so we got to speak
All
as
right.
if
So
they
yes,
don't know.
I am childless,
Single
not
and
single and
single.
childless,
Okay.
not necessarily by choice.
Okay.
You know,
Gotcha.
but now it's just too late.
Okay, so let's go back with the you mentioned in the 40s. So if you think about what it was like dating in your 30s, how does that differ now in the 40s? Or is it the same?
I don't think it's the same. And there were some things in my 30s I would have changed as opposed to how I did it.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I can't speak for everybody. I mean, for some of my friends, because we talked about it. Yeah, dating's just tough now, man. Like in your 30s, it was. I mean, I was a pimp. I had so many damn dudes, like for real. Like I didn't even know what to do. And I had to really, I was perfecting my like, I mean, I was going on date. I probably had a date every night of the week.
That's
I
ridiculous.
had to like chill. Like I was like, yo, chill, 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 chill. Because that's not even really me. Like, I like to be alone sometime. I like very much enjoy my little just sitting at home and watching TV or going to the library. You know, when I live in DC, I went to the museums a lot, or or just walking around, or going shopping.
Right.
But I had so many dates. At one point, I had when I was living in DC, there was 31 days in a month. I went on 26 or 27 dates with
That's
27
ridiculous.
different dudes in 1 month.
Now you're not sleeping with these dudes.
No.
Just so we get
That's
that
some
clear.
bullshit. No, jeez. No, your pussy be all ran through. Are you kidding me? Get the fuck out of here.
I just want to differentiate because there may be some people that
I'm
don't
going
understand.
on dates. There is no
Dates
sleeping
means
to the
like
point where
sex.
these dudes don't even know where I live because I don't think it's safe for anyone to know where you live. And I don't drive. You know, I do have a car here in New York now, but you tend to meet people where you're at because you might live in the city. I might live in Brooklyn. Or just two different sides. It's just hard. But in DC, I drove all the time. So I would be like, oh, I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there. Where you live? Oh, over here. I'm not telling. It's not safe
Right, that's
as
smart.
a woman to live by yourself. And I'm not. I just met you, and you don't need to know where I live.
Right.
No, we're not doing that. Fuck out of here. But yeah, no, there was no sleeping together. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Now you might have had your old trusty fallback dude from before.
The old trusty fallback.
Yeah, from that that you could just call up anytime, and he'll be like, okay. He understood the assignment, right?
Right.
But the dude you're going on a date with, nope. I went and out of that month of dating all those different dudes, into the next month, I think I only took 3 of them with me, 3 or 4.
So you're just feeling them out.
Yeah. And then by the end, that was like October, November. By the end of the year, nobody.
Wow.
And I just was like, God, I got a lot of dinners. Oh, I'm lying. There was a dude I used to go out with every Monday. He liked to go to very high-end restaurants in DC. And he just would take me out to eat every Monday. There was no sex involved. There was no kissing involved. There was nothing. And towards the end, like he did know where I live. He didn't live that far from me. So he picked me up and was like, you ready to go eat? Sure.
That's what you call a sucker.
It was him. He's just like, oh, well.
No, I'm saying he's a sucker.
He was like, I like to try these new restaurants. I know you like to eat and you're like a foodie. Like you like to try different food.
Right.
And I'm not spending my money on these chicks and they don't appreciate it. Like we just actually developed a friendship. He was super cool, but there was I don't think he liked me. Like, I think at first he did. And I friend zoned him. And then once we left the friend zone, well, I never left the friend zone, but once that we went out. I had a good run.
And then, so this was in the 30s or the 40s?
Yeah, I was probably like, I was probably like 30, 31-ish.
So you're saying basically in your 40s, you wouldn't do this. The 30, the 26 dates in 31 days.
Because I value my time more.
Gotcha.
I value my time, and the one thing you can never get back in life is time. And
1,000.
I'm not if I don't feel some little connection, I'm just not fucking with you like that. Like
Mhm.
I'm barely talking to you on the phone. And so I wouldn't do it now. Again, my patience level is this big. I'm like, no, 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 no. So I value my time more. That's a learn. You learn that. And
Okay.
then when I moved to DC, I was by myself. I moved there all by myself, and everywhere I've moved, I pretty much moved by myself. I knew one person there, so I had to find my own way. And then at first I was working two jobs, and one of them I was going back to Richmond to work. I was
Oh, shit.
bartending just so I could make sure I had money because I didn't have a job in DC yet. So I was
Mhm.
driving 100 miles to go to Richmond to bartend.
Yeah, you was doing
Fridays and
way too much.
Saturdays. Yeah, I was doing the most. Or I'll be like, not Friday. I'll do Saturday and brunch on Sunday.
Mhm.
They
Yeah,
had a big, and then I
that's
drive
that's the
back to
shit you can do
DC.
in your 30s.
Yeah, you're like this is silly. I'm not doing that
Right.
shit now. And then when I did get a job, I stayed on standby bartending for like 2 or 3 months. I'm like, all right, I'll come down. I'll do it Saturday. Or they'll like, oh, can you cover brunch
Hmm.
Sunday and then dinner Sunday? Because it was a restaurant. It was a brewery, but it was a
Okay.
restaurant, and then it was fine dining in the back, and it was right in the middle of Richmond. And so I used to be like, all right, I can do this. And you got paid your little bullshit paycheck because it was $2 and 50 cents. But every
$2.
time you got paid with a case of beer too, because they brew their own
Oh,
beer. And I never liked their beer, so I had cases of beer stacked up in my house, in my living room. So
ridiculous.
I would just like form 6 packs and give it to people. Oh, you have to get together. Oh, you have. Oh, you having this? Oh, I bring a whole case of beer and I just mix
Right.
and match different ones. Everybody's like, "What the hell, Michelle?" I'm like,
Mm.
"Yeah." So I would go out Friday night, Saturday night, and then Sunday I would had to be in Richmond by. They gave me a little bit of leeway. 10:40. They knew I was coming 10:30ish, ten
Okay.
11. So I had to leave like 8:30 in the morning. I had to get to fly down there and work till like 9 o'clock at night. Fly back, and I was going to work. I had to be at work in Crystal City at. They were such assholes at 8 on the dot. So I was leaving my house at 6 in the morning, taking the train, and I was doing that. But then I just was like, I liked the constant thing. I was always getting paid. I made good
Hmm.
money working there
Hmm.
as a bartender and stuff. So I was like, huh. So I always had cash. Like I was able to pay up when I first got my apartment. What I moved in there August 26th. So September, October, November, December, January, I paid up front.
Okay. Okay.
And so then because I didn't have a job. I did
Right.
not have a
Right.
job when I first moved. So I just paid up that up front. And that was all bartending money.
And see, that's the type of stuff you can do when you're in your 30s and you're transitioning and you're transient kind of moving around and not really settled and everything like that. Um, as far as dating in 2022, what do you think has been the biggest obstacle for you and your friends? The biggest obstacle in 2022, is it, you know,
Um
in dealing with men, or
oh,
biggest frustration?
communication.
Okay.
I don't know where these dudes learned how to or didn't learn how to.
He
It
didn't,
is
man. He
the
didn't.
next. It is so frustrating to know. Like, say what you want to say. Like, it's just like don't. There's a way to say stuff and not hurt someone's feelings. You could and just like the communicating, and you say, ask and communication and
Mm.
effort. These dudes, I don't know who these women are. Um, I don't. They allow these dudes to get away with this bullshit. And I'm
Mm.
like, you can't have had a wife, you can't have had a girlfriend or a girlfriend. There's no way. Now unless these chicks just really want to be with somebody. I couldn't do it. After a while, like you sit back and you're like, okay, 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 so no effort. This is very one-sided. Do you like me? Oh yeah, I like you. Do you? I'm not sure you
Right.
do. I'm not sure you like me if you're not putting in any effort, right? Like, no, but I like you. But where's your effort?
So as far as the communication, and I think we talked about this on one of the other episodes of the podcast. Um, how is that? How does that go? Does it go from? Because I know, like, when you, especially when you're dealing with younger people, younger people, their means of communication is okay. I get the phone number, and we text. You know, I'm cool to text, but I'm from a different generation. I like to be on the phone. I like to talk. Obviously I like to talk. I have a podcast, but like it was just different how we. I think I mentioned that on this podcast. It's different how we mac when it was time to mac and chick. It was we had a spit game, and I don't mean spit game as far as spitting lines, but just being able to communicate and carry on a conversation. And I've heard podcasts and women of our age, really express the fact that some, you know, men, the idea or the concept of getting to know someone, you know, ends once they give them their phone number because it's like text. So what have you encountered? Is it a lot of texting, or because I know you like talking on the phone, but what happens when that guy is like, I don't really like talking on the phone. I just like to text.
I haven't really encountered a dude that really didn't like to talk on the phone.
Okay.
Not maybe not like as over excessively, but that would call you and stuff like that. I don't think. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I should have wrote down. Remember, I used to have these. Remember, I used to have the most ridiculous dating stories.
Yes.
Like
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get into one or two tonight.
I'm sure. Like I should have wrote all those down. Like because it was. I could have. I for sure. I mean, I've been in New York almost 17 years, and the
Mhm.
17 here have been. I mean, I've had some ridiculous shit
Yes,
go on.
yes.
But most dudes call,
Okay, okay.
or that I encountered, and I even tend to date younger dudes,
Mm,
and they call.
okay.
I might have to change my whole, my whole thing up on that. I don't
It's
want to date younger dudes, but I think I look younger sometimes, and so old dudes don't come up to me.
okay,
Oh,
okay.
I've never have anybody. Every once in a while, we're the same age, but
Hmm.
someone older, it rarely happens.
Okay. So,
Maybe
is there
maybe
pros and cons to the younger cats, young thunder cats out there?
listen. Some of the younger dudes that I've gone on dates with, they have been
Mhm.
younger. Like, well, if I was in the last young dude I dated, I went on a couple
What's
dates,
what's the young what's the young what's been the biggest gap?
15 years.
Wow,
And let
I
me
can't
tell you something. He
can't
was the most
imagine.
communicative person I have. Top three communicators I've ever talked to since
Wow.
I started dating. He was very open, very this, and he could communicate and say, and like he could say it eloquently, everything. He was good. He was like,
Mhm.
he was just young. I was like, this ain't going nowhere. Like, I'm 15 years older than you, my dude. Like,
Yeah, I couldn't imagine dating somebody 15 years younger than me. Now, if you could carry on a conversation, that might we might be able to do something. But
right. He could carry on a conversation. He was smart as hell.
mhm,
He had a good job. He was thoughtful. He put effort in. He was everything you would want in a dude
mhm.
your age.
Okay,
But I just, my whole head was like,
15. It's
what
15.
we doing? Like,
Right.
yeah. So, but he could communicate so well, and I'm
Mm,
thinking you need to teach a lesson to these older cats.
mm.
And so now I'm trying to think. Last two I dated, 6 years younger than me, so in
Okay.
his
Okay.
40s, 43.
Yeah.
Terrible communicator. Uh, dude before that, yeah, he was dumb. Um,
Oh, Lord.
he probably just turned 42.
So okay, so they're relative within,
Yeah, they're
within
within.
striking
Yeah, yeah,
distance.
yeah. I'm trying to think. That's the dude I dropped at the beginning of the year,
Hmm.
beginning of pandemic. Um, that just randomly hit me up the other day. I was like, what the hell? Hey, what's up? I was, I saw your team play Saturday in Carolina. I was like,
Hmm.
oh, here we go with the bullshit.
Oh, of
It's
course.
like, he's just like, I thought of you this time of year. I think of you. Okay, how you doing? I'm great.
Yeah, that's the callback.
Yeah, I'm great. How are you doing? And he's just like, I said, how are your kids? He's like, they're great. They're getting so big. Oh, that's lovely. I'm done now. We don't have.
Oh wow,
I don't have
that was
any.
the conversation.
That was it. And then and he's just like, yeah, this is a pretty good game because the games on Sunday were phenomenal.
Mhm.
And I was like, yeah, they're good. Oh, what are you up to? Watching the games, my dude. I just said,
Yeah, yeah. We ain't got time to be doing a whole bunch of talking about watching
yeah,
the
that was
game.
all text. He was texting me, and then he killed it. I mean, I would never go out with him anyway. I just
Mhm.
don't like him like that. And again, time. I'm not gonna waste my time. Mia, Michelle, can you send me a pic? Radio silence. Radio silence. Radio
Whoa,
silence.
wait. What kind of pick?
I don't know. I didn't entertain it. I don't know.
You want to do?
And I've never sent him a nude in my life. Like I was like, and so I started sending a picture of my sneakers, like of my foot.
Let me
And
show
then
you
I
this
was like,
J's, bro.
no, because you know why? That is if I send him a picture of my foot, then he's gonna be like, oh no, oh, ha, 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 a picture of something else. No, I'm not gonna
Right,
entertain. So I just radio silence.
right. Okay,
Radio
okay.
silence.
Wow.
And but
Send
it's
me a
like,
pic.
wait. Yeah, and then yeah. And another
So
dude, same thing. He came back. Oh, Michelle, I know it's your favorite time of year.
they know you. They know you love college basketball. So it's
Listen, but everybody knows me. You look at my
right,
Instagram
right,
or
right.
Facebook.
Right. But I mean like that, but that's the way to get in. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the entry question or the entry to get you back in to get you to talk. You know what I'm saying? So
Ship has sailed. I don't. Nope. Nope. Mm-mm. I don't.
oh man, that's
No,
funny.
I'm like, yeah, he hit me up. Same dude hit me up in September, August, September, October. Oh, I'm at this cool bar. And tells me name. I
Mhm.
said, oh yeah, I go to it all the time. And he's like, oh, I've never seen you here. Never seen you there either. Thank you,
Mm.
Jesus. What days you go? I told him a whole different day than the day I go.
Wow.
And oh yeah. Then
That's
he's
what you
just like,
call a
well,
pump fake.
then he's like, I'm here right now. You know, you want to walk down, you're close to your house, gonna come and meet me. I'm not even in town, my dude. Thanks for the offer though.
Wow.
Have a great night.
Wow.
That's like I
Stupid. So when it comes to dating, generally speaking, what traits are you and your contemporaries? What are you looking for in men? What are you looking for? What traits?
I mean, you should look nice. No.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a couple friends that we were just talking about this. My girl's supposed to do this whole I think I told you about it. This whole like Zoom thing about dating, but she wants men in there, married men, everything on it. And she said that she's not dating any nice looking dudes any longer. Like she's
Oh boy.
and she said she's gonna start dating straight fives and sixes.
Mm.
I'm not sure. I think I'm still maybe a little petty in my little I don't know if that's gonna work for me.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't think any dude I date right now, I'm not dating anybody right now, but anyone is a 10. I don't think anyone's a 10, really.
Well, they have to be attractive to you, so that's all that matters.
Well,
What
that too.
society says is
Right. And like, but she's like, now, and there's a couple of them saying that we're and then my other friend, she's just like, let me tell you something. I will date an ugly dude. She says all the time. She's like, I skew towards ugly.
mm.
And I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know.
Wow.
I could date.
But you shouldn't have. I mean, because ultimately, if you're dating someone, they're representation of you and your choices. And ultimately, if you're dating them, you may end up being with them at least as a boyfriend. So yeah, I would think you want somebody that you're physically attracted to.
That's what I say. I mean, I tend to date taller dudes, 6'3", 6'4", 6'5".
Oh
It's my
Lord.
shit. um, according to my friends, I tend to date light skinned dudes.
Oh Lord, that's even worse.
Shut up. I don't think I do. I feel like they're the same complexion as me,
Oh Lord.
and I'm honey roasted almond, right? So I don't feel.
Did she just say honey rose? I mean, I would keep answering. I'm going to ignore that. Keep going.
I'm just saying, it's like, I mean, yeah, I'm trying to just go back and through like the last 5 years, and I don't know. I think I blocked out some people. Uh, I mean, the last dude I was talking to, he's very nice looking to me. He is
Mhm.
handsome as fuck.
But now I notice I said traits. So yeah,
So
that's a trait. So
teeth,
okay, so beyond the looks, what other traits?
no teeth. Okay. Listen, I like a smart dude. And that's the thing. My friend told me, she's just like, that's the one thing about you date super smart dudes, like ridiculously smart.
Mhm.
You know, and sometimes that gets on your nerves because I really do tend to date very highly intellectual people.
As you should, I think.
Yeah, I mean, but
If you consider yourself to be smart, I think it's
yeah,
only right.
listen, I'm smart as fuck, and
Mhm.
I know a little about a lot of shit because that's why I'm up at 3 a.m. Right? Because I can't really. I have like that weird energy. I don't sleep a lot. I sleep 4 hours a night, and I'm googling
Mhm.
stuff, looking up stuff. Trying to just. Um, yeah, I think people. I always see how people's relationship is with their parents. You know,
Facts.
um, if you have some hard ass, and I don't know. People say like dudes and their moms. I think I don't 100% hold that against a person because you don't know how they grew up, really, right? You don't know if
Right.
their mom was a terrible person and just had them to have it. I think it's how you deal with it. I think that you might need to go to a little therapy about that. But
Possibly.
you might not. Like you might have got your love from your grandma and your aunts and stuff like that. So I've seen people who had fantastic relationships with their parents and still be fucked up people.
Facts.
So I'm not grading at that. Mom, I want you to have a belief in God. You don't have to go to church every Sunday
Right.
because I damn sure don't make it.
Me neither.
I want to. I want to. And I used to. I was on a roll for like 16, 17 weeks in a row for one. Like, boom. If I can go out Saturday, I can go to church Sunday. And then it just, I don't know, the pandemic really killed me too.
Oh, of course. I
Oh,
mean, because
but then you started
many
doing
stopped.
online church,
Yeah, it's
and I
it's
started doing
different.
bedside Baptist. Forget about it.
It's different. It ain't the same. You got to
I
feel
do
it.
my ties online.
You got to feel it, and watching it online and being there in the service is two different things.
I said when I'm allowed to go back, but see, when our church was allowing you to go back, but you had to make your reservation on Monday. I was like, I can't
Yeah,
commit.
yeah, you just want to roll up at church.
I was like, I can't commit. I can't commit.
Oh Lord, that's funny.
And so yeah, I'm telling you, like, God, I want you to have a good relationship. If you have children, I want to see how you interact with your kids.
Hmm.
I'm never dating a deadbeat. Like, if you don't have a
Gotcha.
relationship with your kids, you don't have to worry about talking to me.
What about the kids' moms?
Kids mom, I think uh, that's tough. I think it's tough because I know people, and I know people I see it from my own hand. I've seen people in my family really try what their their child's mom, and it has been horrific. You know, like
Mhm.
I think it's at some point. I'm not dating anyone who's freshly out of a relationship either. But if you out for
Okay.
it should at least be cordial.
Oh, no question.
You don't have to. You don't have to. I haven't dated anybody recently where their kids were very young, where you actually had to really communicate with the mom a lot either. But you know, you communicated about school and stuff, and you know
Mhm.
certain things, whatever. But it has to be cordial. I can't all that back and forth. I can't do it. I've never been a part of that, but I've seen it. Right, like
Right.
I'm like, wow, the screaming, the yelling, and this and that, and can't talk, and have to have someone pick up your kid in a drop off spot that you can't be. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, this is wild.
Yeah, that's crazy, and it unfortunately happens. And
It does.
sometimes people have to, make the call as to whether or not that's what something that they want to do or be involved with. Because ultimately, if the relationship, if it goes from dating to a relationship, then obviously you're a part of that. So if he's dealing with the stresses of the baby mama, guess what? You're going to be dealing with the stress of the baby mama. Um, we talked a little bit earlier about traits. One trait I want to ask you about, confidence. On a scale of 1 to 10, where must a guy's confidence be for you to date him?
Oh, it's got to be at 7 or 8. You know, like there's nothing more sexier than a confident man.
Mm, facts.
You know, I don't want you overly confident, like, but a super confident dude. That's when you like that song. I don't know who sings it. That big dick energy song.
Say what?
There's a song. Let me look at my phone.
I never heard of
I
that
know
shit.
because you don't be knowing.
Yeah, yeah. I
You
don't
know.
know. I don't be
Uh,
knowing the Lils and the MC
it might be.
Squirt,
It might be Sweetie.
Lil Fart.
Not a little fart. Wait, and it's called BDE.
Oh, you said Sweetie. I couldn't even tell you what song Sweetie sings.
I know she sings tap 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 in because
Oh Lord.
she sampled blow the whistle.
Oh Lord.
That's why I know she
You
sings.
should never be able to touch a classic like Blow the Whistle.
Oh, listen, it's a terrible big energy. Hold on.
Well, you can't
This
play
is
it because
so. This
we
is.
won't be able to hear it.
But remember this. Hear the beat they sampled.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
So she's talking about like bad bitch, but she did it and then talking about big dick energy. And I was like, yes, there's some people who are little, but they walk in dudes, and you're like, damn, that dude has BDE.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just is like it's a level of confidence around them. And it's called big dick energy. Like, or like a lot of women
Big
just like,
dick
damn, he
energy.
walks in like he's a big dick. You know? And like, listen, and
Lord.
we can be out. There's text going on. Like, damn, you see that dude to the left?
Mm-hmm. Well,
But that,
it's like you said, it's very, very attractive. Confidence
yeah,
is everything. I tell people all the time, like, confidence is like cologne. You got to wear it like cologne. You got to. Um, what about passion? Where would you rank passion on a scale of 1 to 10? What does that have to be in a man
passion
that you'd
for
like
just
to
what you
date?
do, just passion for
Just
life,
just
passion
just
for.
passion, period. In any and everything that they do.
I would put passion like 6-ish, 7. I mean, go
Okay.
for it. Go for anything high you want to do. Don't half-ass.
Right.
I mean,
Fact.
we all half-ass some shit, but
What about sense of humor? Where would you rank that?
oh, sense of humor. Because I'm so ridiculous. Again, you got to
You're
be at
very
like,
ridiculous.
our text back and forth, and
Very ridiculous.
he'll be like, Shell. I'm like, this shit is funny. Like the
Yeah.
shit I sent you today.
Like dead people, like people dancing at funerals and shit like that. Or people sitting
That
up at funerals, the deceased sitting up or being dressed up. Like, nah, that shit is squishy. Something's wrong with you.
I don't know why I find that shit so funny.
Oh my God.
And you're like, no. I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna do it. I will not come to your funeral. You said
No,
if you're
no.
sitting in the corner, stay in the corner with the
Mm-mm.
bottle of with the Tito's and
No,
soda in my hand.
no. I'm walking in and walking right back out.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like I have that like that little morbid sense of humor sometimes. And yeah, you have to have a sense of humor and be able to take my little ridiculous sense of humor and my sarcasm, because sometimes I'm flip with the lip.
This is true. um,
I'm trying
all
to
right.
work on that. Listen, I'm a work in
Well,
progress.
as long as you're working on it, that's all that
You
matters.
know, that's all that matters. I mean, I'm a
That's all
work in
that matters.
progress. I'm
That
just
you're
trying to
saying,
do
hey,
better.
I'm working on it. One thing that we used to talk about before when I would have you on the 12 radio show was you know, in your dating, you're not a fan of chain restaurants.
Oh, you remember that about me?
You
Oh my
absolutely
God.
hate chain restaurants. So you ain't going to Applebee's, you ain't going to Red Lobster, you ain't going to Cheesecake Factory, none of that.
But I do like Cheesecake Factory, but it can't be a first or second date. Like if we're
Okay.
just out and about and we hit up Cheesecake Factory, I'm like, yeah, bet. Cheesecake, I get the same thing. That's Jamaican pepper shrimp,
Right.
my avocado egg rolls.
So
But
I got a exercise really for this one, this question. I've got a couple of things here. I want you to give me the number where you would rank on a scale of 1 to 10, places that you would go on a first date, because first dates are very, very, very impactful, if you will. So a guy can sometimes blow it on a first date. You know,
absolutely.
if he does the wrong thing, says the wrong thing, or sometimes take you to the wrong place. So, what I have is a little exercise where I'm going to give you a topic, and you tell me on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest, where you would rank it for a first date. Um, Picnic.
Oh, 10.
Really?
Yeah. Because I think, you know why? It's effort and it's thoughtful.
Okay.
You took the time. You had even if you didn't make the food, you had to go order it.
Okay.
You had to go order it. You had to get a bottle of wine or bubbles and put it in the basket or put it in something, and you had to sit there and have a blanket. Like you, it was effort. It was thought, and
Okay.
right there, and that goes a long way.
Okay. Okay. I'm interested in this one. A liquor tasting seminar.
Oh, 8, 9. You know, you
Some
know.
place where you can learn about wine or booze, like
Oh
a
yeah,
liquor
yeah. I'm
business.
going 8, 9
Okay, okay,
because
okay.
afterwards you probably would go and grab something to eat. You talk about it and then go some whatever.
What
Again,
about?
effort.
Yep, ma'am. This is true. What about a art gallery?
I had a first date at the art gallery.
Really?
2 of them. One at the Guggenheim here, and one at the Black Art Museum in DC. When I live in DC,
Okay. What'd
both
you rank
were.
that?
It was like 7, 8. Because you know why? It gave you a chance to see people like a different side of them. Just like
Mm-hmm.
you went, you're looking at art, you're talking about it, seeing what it meant to you. What are you thinking? Like whatever. Because you get a chance to like talk about stuff you probably wouldn't normally talk about, or you can relate it to something. So yeah, I'll say like 7, 8.
Okay. Okay. What about a local arcade?
Boom! I had a date.
What?
Listen, you know my dating history
We
here
probably.
is
I
low.
feel like I'm going to hit all the ones that you've been on.
It was at this spot here. It's called Barcade,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm familiar
and
with Barcade.
yeah, and it has bars. So we went. Yeah, it was the first day. We went to brunch. It was a
Okay.
Saturday. We went to brunch, lunch, whatever, grab something to eat, and he's like, "Let's go to bar." Next stop is Barcade, and I was like, "Oh!" And we played all the old school games, Frogger, and everything. Had a couple drinks.
Okay.
It was fun. I had a fantastic time. And again, effort. Like all these things you're saying, it's just like at some point, anytime a dude arranges a date, it's effort, right? But
Mm-hmm.
then you like think outside the box a little bit, and that's not really that outside. Like, but all the games we played when we were little kids, like we played, I don't know,
Like
whatever,
Pac-Man and shit
Seaman,
like that.
Pac-Man, Centipede. We played all those. It was a fantastic day. Had drinks, so we spent like a good 3 hours in there.
Okay. Okay. I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at
It
that
was a
at
great.
all.
I mean, I was like, "Yo, next person I date like that, I'm just going to go because I want to go."
Mm-hmm.
And then like you see you're competitive.
Yes. Yes.
It
Very
gets
much so.
real competitive, and I'm super competitive.
Super
Super.
competitive.
I try not to be, but damn it, I am.
I mean, it
Uh,
is what it is. That's how you're wired. That's how you're wired.
I
So
went on a date one time to it wasn't a first date, but it was like a third or fourth date to Dave and
mhm.
Buster's.
Oh
And
Lord,
dude wanted to play basketball, and I busted his ass, right?
damn.
He's like, let's play again. Shh, bet. I was like, my stroke is nice. Whoop, whoop.
What?
Busted his ass. And
I
I
would have
wasn't
never.
gonna let go. Like that's the part of me. And I was like, yeah,
And let me guess, did y'all go on a date after that?
we did. He said
What?
there was something very sexy about it.
I'd be like, hell no, I ain't taking her nowhere. She ain't going nowhere, B.
Yeah, I busted the ass though. I was like, I can't just sit here like, you
No, no,
know.
no, no. I mean, but when you're competitive, it is what it is. Because I mean, like, even if we've gone out on. I remember one time we just did a couples thing with some of our friends. We went to a bowling alley, and I'm I'm just really competitive. So like I was like, once we got started, I was like, all right, here we go. I was like, so I'm sitting down, I'm not saying nothing, and Sharice's like, why are you not talking? I was like, because I'm focused, I'm trying to win, because you
Yeah,
know.
don't you never want me as your bowling partner. I
Hmm.
suck. I mean,
Oh,
that's
I'm not that good at bowling, but
oh, I'm
still, I
terrible.
wanted to
Like I
win.
barely can score a 50.
No, I can do better than that. I mean, but I'm, I still want to win. So
Right.
anytime it's game time, it's go time for me.
Well, that's
So,
why I feel like game time means bring out Herm Edwards. Have
hmm,
Edwards. You play to win the game, right?
right, right. Um, what else? Aquarium. What about an aquarium? I love aquariums.
I have not been a date to aquarium, but I'd say yeah. Oh wait, oh well, yeah.
So where would you rank? What would you score
Where
there?
would I put it at? 7.
Okay, okay.
Thoughtful, man, because you thought about it. Like again, like you have to like think outside the box. So, like it's just not. Let's just go get a drink. Let's go get a drink, or let's this. Like you're saying all things that you do have to put a little thought in, like a liquor tasting or wine tasting. You have to know it's not every single Saturday or every Friday. It's
Hmm.
you might have to. So you have to like usually you have to buy spots for it.
Yes,
So you had to
ahead
think
of
about it.
time.
Right. So
Yes.
that means you had to think about it.
Hmm.
I
What
mean,
about What about riding bikes on a first date?
I'd say 6
Okay,
because they
that's
like
not too
ride
bad.
the bike because it depends if you're riding on the path. You could stand that you can bike next to each other and kind of like talk a little bit. Boom, boom, boom.
Hmm.
If you're riding the street, no, but path. Um,
Right, the street, you
yeah,
might get killed.
listen. I used to own a bike. I like I hate riding in New York.
Hmm. Yeah, it's crazy up there.
um, yeah, I'd say yeah. Because then usually after that, I've been with. It was a group of us that went and rode bikes, and then we
Okay.
stopped. Everybody tied up the bike. We rode to Coney Island,
Oh wow.
and we like tied up the bikes. Everybody got a couple beers or whatever, and I'm sat in the water. So that was dope.
What about an escape room?
Yeah,
What-
I want to do that on a date because again, that shows you're competitive. It shows your critical thinking.
So where would you rank that?
I would go 7,
Okay. How about a taking a painting class with a date?
like a sip and paint.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I go 7 or 8 because you're sitting next to the person, you're talking, and you're chit
I,
chatting. You're
I
like,
probably score that kind of low because I can't paint. I
oh,
can't paint, can't
but
draw.
when we're done recording, I'll show you this terrible picture up here
Oh Lord.
that I painted at a sip and paint. It was with a bunch of girls, but it's terrible.
What about checking out a play? Takes you to a play.
I went on a date to a play,
Oh.
and it was fantastic because it was Hamilton.
Okay. Wow.
Um, but I don't think that was our first date.
Okay.
Actually, it may have been. It may have been. And I was like, ooh, that's
Hamilton.
expensive
That's
first
dope.
date. And this is when Hamilton was, you couldn't get tickets. There's $800 a seat.
Mm-hmm.
I was third row.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
So he
Um,
broke the bank.
we went to dinner first.
Mm-hmm.
No, that wasn't our first date. We went to a Mets game.
Oh, Mets suck.
Yeah, you know, yeah.
What about
Well, but whatever.
what about a date going to a bookstore?
Um,
You went on a date at the bookstore?
we were in the bookstore. It wasn't a date necessarily to it, but we went in it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, well, what we doing? How long we gonna sit in the bookstore? We're just looking at books.
I mean, you're looking at books. You're
I guess you could
trying
say
to find topics that you're interested in, and maybe he
I
buys
don't
a
mind
couple
it, but
books.
again, it's because it's outside the box, so I think
Mhm.
it's neat. And I like to read. You know, I have a million, thousand, trillion books.
What
um,
about? Okay,
I give it a 7.
okay, okay. Uh, Ice skating. You guys got ice up there in New York City?
Yeah, you know the funniest thing is so many dudes won't do that.
Really? Man,
So many
listen,
dudes.
I love ice skating. I
Do
fell in
you
love
really?
when I was living in Minneapolis. I loved it.
I remember
I used to
you.
go by myself. I go by myself, and because there's no ice skating rinks here in Atlanta. So
Um, I would do it. To go, I think it would be like, really? I'd be surprised. So I'd want to go. So yeah, I'd put that at like 6 or 7.
okay, okay. Um, what about going to a dog park? We don't know if
For
you're
what?
down with dogs. Just to look at dogs.
Okay, it gets a little weird. If we're just walking through the park and see the dog park and stop, oh, that's cute. Okay, okay. But just to go to a dog park, I'm questioning your weirdness.
So that's kind of low then, huh?
It's low. Yeah, I'm giving you a 5 on that.
Okay, okay. Netflix and chill.
Nope. First date, nope, that's a 0. I'm not going to your house the first fucking date. You're not coming to my house again. You're not gonna know where I live.
Oh wow.
You're not cooking dinner. Oh, I'm not cooking. Nope, there's a wonderful thing called a
What if he got a really dope movie on Netflix?
That's a absolute hell to the no, no, no.
I
Mm-mm.
think
I like my safety. I'm a
right.
protector myself. You
And
know,
that's the smart thing to do.
you saw the girl the other day. The dude,
Yeah, that was crazy.
she set him up. Her cousins and brother held him hostage for 3 days and all this shit. No, chicks are
Mm.
grimy too. Nope,
Oh, no question.
nope, not gonna do it. I like my safety. I like my life. Nope.
Mhm.
And there's no Netflix and chilling on the first date.
Okay. Okay.
Never.
Well, that was a pretty good exercise. A pretty good exercise.
But I'll tell you what's a 0.
What's
The
the zero?
movies. The damn movies is a whoop,
I
whoop.
love the I love the movies.
I know
Back
you do.
pre-pandemic.
But I don't love the movies for a first date because how am I getting to talk to you?
Because we go to dinner and the movies. We go to the movies first, then we go to dinner and talk about the movie. Perfect.
That's such a turn off. It's an
Man,
easy
listen.
date too. It's an easy date.
Yeah.
And I think we live in cities that you don't have to do that. There's
Well,
just
now keep in mind, I was doing this in like 91, 92. So like
because you're 19, you're 18.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, I went on the first date to a movie. I used to go to the first date to the movies or putt golfing,
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
miniature golf. And now, I want to go to Top Golf, right? So
Top Golf is the shit.
Top Golf.
You do Top Golf on the first date?
Oh, I absolutely would.
Okay.
Top Golf. Yeah, I think gun range,
Yes.
axe throwing,
Yes.
all that's good because it's activities,
Mm-hmm.
and it shows effort because for most of those you have to plan. You have to plan it. You have to go and make a reservation. So it shows a little bit of effort, and effort goes a long way. Effort will keep
Thanks.
chicks around for longer than they probably want to stay around. For real, like effort is sexy and it goes a long way. It's like, like I know that typically dudes aren't by nature planners, right?
Right.
And
Most of us
women,
aren't.
and most of them aren't. I've dated some heavy duty planners. You're like shit. But I know that. But it's just like, but every once in a while, it's nice to be like, yo, Saturday, you want to go out? Yup, bet. Boom. Well, this is what I got planned for us. We going to Top Golf. We're gonna go grab some drinks, or we're going to. I booked us wine tasting or whiskey tasting or something like that. That's effort. Like that shows that you want to, connect with this one person, and you want to spend time with that person, and you put a little bit of effort in, and that goes a long, long, long way. When it seems so one-sided all the time, that person gets just resentful and like, I plan everything. This dude or this woman doesn't plan shit for me. Doesn't do anything. It's always me, me, me. Do you want to do this? Do you? It's never an invite. Hey, do you want to do it? Hey, what's good with you? And then it's like, okay. I mean, it's like it tends to fall on your whack. Like, and you don't value me.
Right. That goes a long way.
Yeah, and you might and you're like, no, I do like you. No, but why you can't plan anything? So effort is sexy in a man.
Okay.
It is sexy.
Okay. Well, we have reached the end of the podcast, ShellyShell. Before we get out of here, I don't know if you want to give your information or you want to tell people where they can find you, but
I already, my page got hijacked, so I already have 90 people waiting, they're sitting in purgatory.
What, your IG page?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And the new one? I have 90 people.
90. Oh, so you have 90 people waiting. Just they sent requests and you just got them sitting there.
Well, I looked through them. I'm like, I don't know these people. So I don't delete them all the way. They're friendship purgatory, I call it. Yeah. I mean, it's ShellyShell 628 at my IG. And then what is my Twitter, Kyle? Because I'm ShellyShell 28.
I think it's the ShellyShell 28. I think.
Is it?
But you don't tweet though. Not like I used to.
Not like I used to, because I was in it. I was in it to win it for a while.
Yeah, I think it's ShellyShell 28.
It's 28.
Yeah, so there you go. So there, if you want to hit her up on there. She's not taking any dating requests over the interwebs.
No, but listen, I keep reading wonderful stories about people sliding your DMs, and next thing you know, boom, you go on a couple of dates, boom, you're engaged, boom, you married. Like
I've seen it happen.
It happened. At the end of the day, I want to be married. Jesus.
And you will be. I don't know if it's going to be from a IG DM, but then you never know.
I mean, I want to be married. Can I be married? Can I hyphenate my name?
No, you can't hyphenate your name. You're going to have to take his name.
Why is that such a problem?
That's another podcast.
Let's discuss that. Why is that such a problem?
Because I get you.
Are like some men are like you can hyphenate, but you can't. And other men are like, straight up my name.
Hell no. You taking my name, bro. Period.
And I feel like this stage in the game, when you get married at 50, 55, some people professionally, that's not, you do almost have to hyphenate.
Yeah, because you've made a name for yourself with your first and last name. Even if, it's been whatever your career is. It didn't even matter. If you're I don't know, an attorney, if you're a teacher, if you're a surgeon.
Well, I think that's where the hyphenation comes in, because you still, I mean, I think it's one thing if you got married as young as you did.
Right. Yeah. You ain't had no names. So you're gonna take mine. But I'm still I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I still want you to take my name.
Hyphenation.
No, I only want it hyphenated.
But a doctor really at this stage,
you're gonna be Dr. 12 Kyle. That's what you're gonna be.
You're not. You're gonna be Dr. Blank hyphen 12 Kyle because the name, like, you a big time doctor or this, and that's how people academia.
You know what? You take my name, you're gonna be even more big time.
Shut up, Kyle. I cannot.
You know, that's a perfect way to end this podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for checking out this edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast. The podcast is broadcast, or actually, new podcast is dropped each and every Thursday at midnight. Be sure to subscribe because the podcast, we will drop, bonus episodes from time to time on Sundays at midnight. That's going to do it for me and my girl, ShellyShell. You have checked out this edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. We'll catch you guys next time. 5,000.
Peace.